Today we are going to go over a more advanced topic in computer science as arrays. We're going to go over arrays today. I don't know why it's so hard for people to understand, but generally people have a very hard time with arrays, especially to those who have not programmed before. So I'm going to go into it right now. Go to the tutorials website and look over arrays. This is an array. Now don't just look at it and you're going to be all confused. What is an array? I'm going to make it even more simpler. Let's open up Word. All an array is, let me see if I can draw the box for you. This is an array, okay? It's just a box like this, and you can have values inside. Now you can have characters, you can have whatever inside. You can have integers, whatever. So arrays operate, or they work by using indexes. So they always start at 0. This is the first. Okay, let's see if I can do this. This is the first index, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Now, for example, I am just going to put in some values for here. Now, the way we access these indices, this is called the 0th index, first index, second, third, fourth, and fifth. The way we access these are as such. Now, I'm not exactly certain how. Okay, I see. So when you initialize indices like this will have 10 because, I mean not 10, this will have 6. So for example, let's say this array, if I can move this, how do you move this? Hang on. This array, I'm just going to call it R. I'm just going to call R. This is how you denote an array. R and 2 brackets like that. Okay? Now this R array has 6 values, even though they count up to 5 because 0 is the first one. So you would initialize, or you would create an array by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by giving it array R6. However, to go into more in depth, this is how you do it. An array new int 10. So this means you're creating an array of int type with 10 values in it. So it allocates memory for 10 integers. So likewise, it would be the same. It would be the same for my case, right? Let's see, I'll do it to the way they did it. So if I just went R equals new int, and we have how many values? We have 6. Right there, we just declared a new array, right? Wait, is that even how I'm supposed to do it? Okay, I did this part right here. This part declares this is the array, and this allocates 10 spaces for the array. So before you, okay, so what I did before was correct. So basically int, okay, lowercase. Basically, if you do this, int r, well, you can just do int r equals new int 6. So if you wanted to do it short. And then this creates this boxes for you, but it doesn't put in all the values. Now that we've basically declared it and allocated memory for it, what if we wanted to? How do you pull out, or how do you read the values of individual arrays? So that one we would access what? R0. R0 equals 0. R1 equals 0. R2 equals what? 0. And it goes all the way to R4. And that equals 1. Right? So these are arrays. Now you don't have to just put in. You can put in like text, not text. You can put in. Yeah, you can put in strings. I don't know if you can do it in Java, but in C++ you can. You can put in characters. You can put in, I think, Boolean. I'm not exactly sure yet. I forgot. But you can. This is how you organize your data. For example, if you're trying to compare to a list of something, then the smart way to do it is to make an array like this, fill it in with the data you have, and then you can manipulate it, do whatever you want with it, and voila. Okay, done. Now, okay, enough with me talking. Let's actually get to coding. Let's code this part. Let's actually make it happen. Okay, we're going to create a new class again, specifically for the array function, or the array thing we're trying to go over today. Alright. Now, instead of having a fixed number, we're going to ask the user what's the size of the array you want, and blah blah blah. Okay, so we're going to do this. System.out print ln, enter the size of the array, we got to do the scanner thing, don't we? So this is why you have your old code, because then we can do a lot of copy and pasting. Int size equals input dot next int. So there, what I did was I put everything in one line. I initialized it and I declared, and I assigned it to some value. Int r equals size. Am I doing this right? No, I'm not doing it right. Equals new int. I'm gonna make this size. So I just did everything in one line. You shouldn't do this if you so I'm assuming you know how to do this. So what I did here, I'm going to go over it really quick. Ask the user, what's the size of the array you want? And we declared the size right here. I mean, we set it equal to size, and then we just use the size in one line like that. And what we're going to do is we are going to make an array with numbers counting from 0 to however the size is. So, for example, if the program where I'm doing, if I say the size is going to be 6, I'm going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will add up like that. So we are going to add up the numbers matching the indices. So whatever. Okay, so now remember we went over for loop. So now we have to, we are able to use those tools. If you haven't mastered for loop, go back in the video, learn it, review it, study it, master it. For int I, this is going to be. This is why we have I can be index, I can be anything. It's like a tracker. Int I equals 0. If, let's see, I is less than, should I go? Less than or equal to, less than or equal to what? Less than or equal to size. then we want to make it go up by 1. Don't forget to use your brackets. If you forget your brackets, you're fucking yourself. Okay, so now what do we do? So now that it just goes up, we can easily just set our I. See, this is how it's. See, this is now you see how the importance of I comes in, because now, remember how we access the individual indices of arrays is by R and giving it the index value. This is the index value. Don't forget, these are the index values. These are just the values inside. Get that through your head. Don't confuse yourself. The indices are what you use to point. These are like, I want, you know, when you go to your dictionary, you know how you have it's alphabetized. This is kind of like that. It's a category. So in this, it's a zeroth index. Just think of these boxes are their own little index and their own little address location. That's what they are. So when we use our I like that, I happens to be this. So on the first loop that we go over, our I, what is going to be I? I is going to be 0, so we are going to set that equal to I. So 0, just going to pop in 0 in there. Next loop, 1. I becomes 1, right? Because I plus plus. Our I, which is R1, is going to set to equal to 1. So this becomes 1. Okay. Nope. That's not right. This becomes 1. And then if you follow the loop, this becomes what? 2, 3, 4. And when it gets to 5, 5. Okay? And so now, after this for loop, to test if our loop is correct, we're going to create another loop. We're going to give it a different thing now. J, also equal to 0. J happens to be less than or equal to size. Same thing as before. J plus plus. However, this time, we are going to spit the values back out to the user. Oh, why did I use K here? Where did K come from? It's J. And then we are actually going to print out system dot out dot print. And because we don't want it to be in a long line like that, we are going to use println, and we're going to have the numbers vertically presented to us. R, J. Now you see how this works? First, we have a loop to throw in the values into the array, so we're going to comment throws values into array, spits values back out at user. So what are we going to do? We are going to create an array that counts from 0 to whatever, and then after that spit it back out to the user. So we are creating this array, giving it values, and reading the values. So this is doing pretty much. It's not doing little. It's doing a pretty substantial amount of work. So run it. We want to enter the size of the array. What if we want just 5, right? Oh no, we have an error. Index out of bounds. So let's find. Okay. So let's take off the equal sign. I think it's the equal sign that's making it go out of bounds. Because if you think about it, if it hits here, now this is important, if it hits here and it still continues, it's going to go into the 6th one. There is no 6th one, so that's why the program has crashed. It's important that you guys understand this. Try it again, 5. And it works perfectly this time. So we put in the size of the array, which was 5, which has 5, because the 4th index is so it goes from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's like that. So it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is exactly what we want. Now let's make it 1,000, 10,000. and the program actually went and did every single number from 0 all the way to basically 9999 and one off from the actual number because we started from 0. See if we can how big we can make this. So it goes on and on and on and on, and I don't know how long this is gonna take, but I'm guessing it's gonna be it's almost there. And nope. Okay, this is gonna take quite a while. So you can see that, like, if you have, you know, stuff like this, and because obviously there's a better way of doing it than I guess what I'm doing, because I am actually going through every single value and doing this. So in the future, you know, when it comes to designing algorithms, when it comes time to sorting numbers, sorting lists, sorting stuff like this, if you have a really poor algorithm, you will see how bad your code is, because it will go on forever and ever, and then your user, you know, if they're using your program, they're going to be sitting on the waiting screen waiting for something to pop up while this thing goes in the background. It takes forever. So I'm going to stop this. There is a terminate button, so you can stop it. What I haven't gone over with you guys is something called an infinite loop. If you have something that's going to be always true that never terminates, your thing is going to be stuck in a permanent loop, and it's going to go and it's going to keep looping forever, and it will never stop. You know, until you break your computer, it will never stop if you have an infinite loop. Thankfully, what I did here is it is not an infinite loop, and it would have stopped eventually, but who knows how long it would have taken. It would have probably taken, you know, I probably went through half of it, and it still wasn't done. Like, you see how long this list is. It goes on forever and ever and ever. So, you know, just to make it simple again, we're gonna do 100 and see how it goes to up. Oh, I see what happened. I Control Z and I added the equal sign again. Oops, my bad. Run it again. I just undid something. So if I went 100 again, yep, it went to 99. And if you understand how this works, then you have a very good understanding of loops. You have a very good understanding of you have a basic understanding of arrays, because not only will we be able to put numbers in it, we're able to put characters in it. We'll be able to put strings in it. We will be able to put Boolean stuff in it. So, you know, that's the lesson for today. If I can end this.